person. I'm not talking about them elite person up top. What will change for us within the first 90 days? That's the first question. When them start do them what one bag of talking, you start ask. Based on them one bag of talking, what is going to change for me in the first 90 days? Is there going to be one change, one bill, one benefit? And if so, what is the date of that change? Give me a date when I can expect one change, one bill, one benefit. This is what you have to start asking yourself, Jamaica. Question number 2, write it down. Take a picture, voice record it, anything you want to do, but you need to have this down. What exactly will change for a mother in 90 days? Will the clinic wait time change? Will school costs be cut? Will transportation? Pick one. Deliver it. Anyone. In the first 90 days. Question number 3. What exactly will change for the teacher in the first 90 days? Will they get a stipend, a housing slot, a loan break? Show the rollout. Teachers, keep this in your head when you go there go vote. What exactly is going to change for us within the first 90 days? Mothers, keep it in your head. What exactly will change for me as a mother or a parent within the first 90 days? Vendors, small business owners, want to keep it in our head. What exactly will change for me in the first 90 days? I need a date on that. Number 4, what exactly will change for the fisher or the farmers in the first 90 days? So if you are a farmer, you're a fisherman, keep it in your head. Ask yourself, what exactly is going to change for me in the first 90 days? Would it be fuel support, ice plant schedule, irrigation repair, location and contractor? What will it be for me in the first 90 days? You see, if they can't answer one of those with a place, a date, and dollar amount, me say, if them cannot answer with a place, a date, or a dollar amount, big optics, show performance, big theater in a Carib theater there, nothing else, not about Jamaican people. The optics to survival converter. I'm going to teach you how to turn the talk into life. You see, when you hear a promise, Jamaica, I want you to run through it with this converter on here. I say when you hear a promise from the leaders, I want you to run through it with a converter. Promise, budget. You know what you need? You need a timeline. You need a location. You need a metric. And you need the oversight. Because budget, when I'm trying to do that, when I'm trying to come in with them budget and I'm going to give them big promise budget speech, ask them, which program am I going to fund this budget? What are you going to cut to fund this budget? And what is going to be new with this budget? Then you say, let me ask about the timeline of this budget. When do you start? When is the start of this budget? When is going to start? And when is this budget going to be finished? Then you need a location. Which parish, which facility, and which road. Me a go no. Anytime I make promise, this is what you need to come up with. Then you ask about the metric. How many bed? How many teachers? How many megawatts? Ask the how. Me a teach you which. Right? When? How? And then the oversight. Because you want to know who control this, right? Ask them who are going to do the auditing for this whole program and this promise we are make. What's the public's dashboard, Earl, so we can see it, right? Give us the link. Give us the website that the public can access to see this transparency, where we can see everything that you're talking about. So we can see if corruption is truly being eliminated, and we can see if what you say this budget is going to be used for is truly be used for that, and how much money and which parishes benefit and how it is going about. Where is the public dashboard link? You see, if any of these boxes will make you the budget, the timeline, the location, the metric, and the oversight, you see if any of them is blank, or them can't go nothing with none of them, it's a Carib theater performance in the depend. A performance, Jamaica people, you're not. Your interest is not at heart. So me go now a case demo. Me go on a demonstration of how optics will sound how optics sound, so you can recognize it. Me I teach you something today now. Me I go into some nuggets today. So when you write it down, voice record it, screen record it, because it's very important for you to understand how this stuff work, especially with them show them put on yesterday. So I'm going to show you how optics sound, how it sounds so you can recognize the sound of it versus how survival sound. So you know the difference between optics meaning a performance, a show, like a stage show versus real life survival that we care about our Jamaican people and we're caring about Jamaica survival and progression and future. So the optics version. So if you hear this, it's pure performance. Screen record. Write it down. If you have a memory, keep it there. This is what they'll say when they're performing. We are prioritizing healthcare with historic investments. You hear what I say? We are prioritizing healthcare with historic investment. Sounds good, right? That's performance, is optics. The crowd are gonna clap. It looks nice, but Jamaica, it means nothing. That's a empty statement, a general statement, a statement that has no definition, no nothing. So let me tell you, based on that statement, what a survival would look like. What the survival version, what the version that says Jamaica is his best interest, what it sound like, so you can recognize. Now, if a leader says, Jamaica, by December 2026, we will add 120 staff beds, 30 at Kingston Public Hospital, 25 at Spanish Town, 20 at Mandeville, and 15 at St. Anne's Bay, 30 at Cornwall Regional. We have 3.2 billion Jamaican dollar budgeted under Program X, funded by cutting Program Y and reallocating Program Z. Nurse retention package starts April 2026 at ex-Jamaican dollar stipend, housing slots 400 and loan relief for 300. Now, public dashboard will be updated quarterly. Bam! Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? This is what optics look like. Again, Jamaica, I want you to understand. We are prioritizing healthcare with historic investment. That's a performance. That's a show. That's bull crap. You understand me? You understand me? So if any leader give you that first version, they don't have your interest at heart. Now, if a leader stands up and give you the version I just gave you, then them have your interest at heart. Them have Jamaica on the forefront. That's the difference. Optics is just adjectives. If you hear one bag of adjectives, it's optics. But you see, Jamaica's best interest and survival, it's arithmetic. Okay? It's arithmetic. Say it with me. Adjectives cannot save lives. Only arithmetic can. Them need to give you the numbers. Give it to you plain and straight so you know what's what. Right? All right. Now, make we talk a little bit, Jamaica. I'm going to tap up the screen and share it out. Move on to the type on a parish in the comment. Whichever parish you're there, or if you're overseas, wherever you are, in the diaspora, type your parish. And I want when you type your parish, you type me one survival problem that you needed solve. Any survival problem that you need solve. Like, St. Mary not have no ambulance, North Carolina, and the response is too slow. Big up yourself, North Kakalaki. Big up yourself, Kingston. Montego Bay in the house. That's right. Because we're all affected. And I want to understand, we don't do character gossip here at all. I don't do character gossip. ATL at Hot Atlanta. Big up yourself, Hot Atlanta. We don't do character gossip here. We do systems. Declaration certified on clock. Declaration certified on a clock, or it's meaningless. If they cannot certify their declarations by giving you a timeline and giving you dates, first quarter, second quarter, then it's meaningless. It's meaningless. Big up yourself. St. Andrew, Middleton District in the house. Large up yourself every time. Yes, taxi man have problem. The roads are deplorable. Deplorable. You hear me? Deplorable. And yes, still they don't even talk about that. Did you hear any talks of infrastructure and road development or anything like that from them yesterday? Hmm? Any talks of actually doing something about the road conditions when I mash up on the front end and I replace tire and brake pad and rotors and all the CV joint and all kind of thing constantly and consistently. It a cost of the money. And the fact that some of the routes are so congested, you have to really work hard to make a dollar to take care of your family. Don't hear any talks of that. Yes, and the excessive amount of tickets. My question is always, with the crime rate so high and excessive police shooting, because Jamaica has one of the largest crime rate in the world, and that's not my finding. That's based on the findings of the reputable organizations. And you would think that most of their resources and time would be spent fighting crime instead of issuing. I did not know that so much police can be in one place that issue ticket to the same. So a driver can be right here this minute. Police stop them and less than a quarter mile down the road, another police want to pull them over again. It is actually ridiculous and I find that very excessive. Why do so many polices have to be on the road in such a short space? In between quarter mile, not to look for criminals or to look for anybody fleeing, to out there looking for people who are actually, but to just antagonize motorists, as if I think they should have resources and equipment where if literally it should be a certain amount of span in which police officers should be. Them shouldn't be piled up like that. Everybody I try get a ticket in. Everybody I try make them quota. That's ridiculous. It places a pressure on the motorists and our Jamaican economy and our society as a whole. No, something have to do about that. Something have to do about that. To me, that's ridiculous. And you're talking about these taxi drivers or these motorists already having a hard time with the road, the maintenance of their vehicles, plus the high insurance costs. And let's not talk about the insurance in Jamaica because insurance is all a big scam. So the scam insurance and the high cost of maintaining their vehicles is already putting a strain on them with the economy and the high cost of living and the high cost of their food basket. Not to mention the excessive tickets that they're given by police officers. Some of them actually lose their vehicles. So, it's not something that they addressed yesterday at all during the debate. They did not address what's actually the pain of the people. It would be nice if they address what people are really facing. What they call the common man. I'm using the term common, not that you are common, but that's what they say. The people that are really feeling the brunt of this economy, the brutality of what's going on. That was not addressed at all. And that is what we should look at Jamaica. Richmond, St. Mary, be large up yourself every time. That should not, them not address nothing. They spend more time talking about who can afford a Finsac house. When regular Jamaican can't afford a bag of rice in the supermarket, but you talking about you're attacking on who can buy Finsac houses and how many 28 bank accounts, and you are not certified and I am certified. How about you certify the Jamaican people so them can afford the cost of living and have a decent life? You know what that shows me? It shows how much money in the Jamaican system. If two leaders can spend their time during a debate when they're supposed to be showing the Jamaican people that they are here for the Jamaican people and here for Jamaica to make sure that we have a better life. If they are here for the people of Jamaica, then they should have been talking to the people of Jamaica and what they're going to do. But you know what that debate also showed me? It showed me that all of the money they up there, so the whole of the money they up there, so because they were having what I call rich people argument, rich people conversation, rich people debate. They were debating rich people problems. Yes, that's what you call it. That's when rich people debate problems. The rich people don't debate mega afford saltfish or canned mackerel or sardine at the supermarket. Rich people argue about how you purchased the Finsac house and my stuff is certified and you're not certified. It was a rich people argument. Jamaica, when you don't see it, when you don't, if you, may I tell you now, when you look upon it, Jamaica, did they argue? Did they have a blowout argument about protecting the regular person, the increasing the income of the mother, the people who can't afford it at the lower sections, finding how they can make sure the food insecurity is solved. Did they have a blowout argument over the issue itself? Or did they sit up there and had a rich people argument, a rich people conversation, a rich people debate? I mean, I am sure it went over a lot of the regular people head because they cannot relate, because they don't sit. They can't buy Finzac house. Them don't have 28 bank accounts. They don't get certified. They're not with this company that's making all this money. So you were not even talking to the people of Jamaica. You were talking to the elites who sit in their back rooms and their data rooms and drink champagne and eat caviar and have who owns what and who can buy what. The national interest of the people, poor people, was not representative in the debate yesterday. And sooner Jamaica see that, the sooner we better. In fact, they sat there the entire time and talk about their lifestyle. I could see in both their lifestyle which one. To be honest, that debate was about who richer than who have more money than who have better status than who who are the large man in Jamaica. It had nothing to do with you, the people at the bottom who are feeling the weight and the burden of this economy that's stifling us. It was literally about who have more money than who. You're right, who have the power, the money and control, and that's just disgusting. So, and then they had the nerve to say, vote Jamaica. Well, hold on. You said vote for Jamaica, but you turned in your whole time when you was arguing. You forget when you was arguing about having a rich people argument that you said, even if you're born in Jamaica, you're not Jamaican. So that means no Jamaican are supposed to vote, because if you're born in Jamaica, you're not guaranteed to be a Jamaican. I cannot believe that while the country is and people are suffering and people are having a hard time living and having a hard time finding food to put on their tables, having a hard time during this back to school to actually send their children back to school because they can't even afford to buy the uniforms, the expensive books, $10,000-$15,000 for one book, or $4,000-$5,000 for one little book, and you have a book list that's so extensive you can't even afford to buy the books, the stuff that your children, and if you have more than one children and you're making minimum wage for the week. I cannot believe they sat there and have a rich people argument when people are at the bottom suffering, trying to figure out, stressing, worrying about how they are going to provide for their families, and you are up there arguing about which Finzac house you can buy and how much bank account me have and who's certified, and you're not born in Jamaica, you're not Jamaican, and make me pull out my old birth certificate and show you where was the interest of the people representative? Where was that mother who sit down night after night, I give her picnic sardine and bread, and I try pinch $2, I try make a dollar out of 15 cents. Where was the interest of the people? That should have been the argument. You should have shown me how passionate you are about the Jamaican people. Where was the passion about Jamaica and the Jamaican people that are running behind you constantly, that have held you in such a high status that somehow no believe on our God? Where was it? And if Jamaica believes say anything, they're so good at putting on a performance and giving under the hype. Vibes Cartel now have nothing pan them. Mr. Spice now have nothing pan them. And them should have got the Caribbean award show because they did a good performance pan stage. Mr. None of the entertainer can walk in them shoes. They have this locked and cocked. Because at no point, at least Bounty Killer would have said something about him people. But they had no point represented their people. They should, let me tell you, today we should have a conversation. Today should have been a fiery conversation between Jamaicans about who really was heated about giving us water, food, cutting this and that. No, my man, my leader had a better plan for food insecurity. My leader had a better plan. I could have dealt with that debate amongst our people. But what is our people arguing today after the debate? Who birth certificate legit? Oh, you can't say nothing more about my leader can born ya. Who, oh, you know, have to born, you have to be a Jamaican. Literally, that is the conversation after the debate. Nothing else. Not if we are going to have food. Jamaica import more than it export. Jamaica import everything that we have to eat. So we don't have food security in Jamaica. Our beaches are sold out and gone to foreign investors. So we don't have beach access. Okay? So fishers don't have access to that. Farmers are still struggling with irrigation. Our healthcare system is deplorable and non-existent. People, even St. Anne's Bay Hospital, have admitted that they do not have beds or anything like that. You have hospitals who Cornwall is still in the developing and fixing phase. It's not complete because people still in a tent. And you have other hospitals that when rainfall, they are getting wet. There's no equipment, no supplies. Doctors are saying you want them to create miracles. Them don't even have a defibrillator if you come in with a heart attack. Them just have to pronounce you dead. So therefore, there is no place for mass casualty in case of there is no tsunami alert warnings for earthquakes or anything that might happen within our, in when Jamaica sits on earthquakes and in a hurricane area. And your biggest argument is my birth paper and if me a Jamaican and Finzac House and who have more than who. You tell me at what point did the interests of the Jamaican people get represented? And if Jamaica, you go out there and do the foolish thing, then you deserve the foolish action because they did not represent you at all. Do they know how you don't eat at night time? Do they know when you get up and you go to work and you work from 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night and come home with barely anything to put on your food table? You make rice and you might open one mackerel, you might make some brown stew chicken and make it serve for the next year, and you have to feed all of them out and you're stressed. Oh, you're going to send your penny go back to school and pay a school fee. Was any of that addressed? Did we address the fact that the students that actually go to school and bust them tail and try to make something of themselves have to leave the country or beg for visa so they can go somewhere else and make a living? Did they fight over that? No, they did not. Did they even fight over the fact that our teachers are migrating because they feel unappreciated and they're not treated well and they're under certain situations that they cannot effectively do their jobs in, so they and provide for their family at the same time, so they must find other means? Are we come down? Did they even represent that, or did they fight over that? No, they did not. Okay, they did not. And yes, they asked about the brain drain. It was asked, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Huh? About our food insecurity, what are we going to do about our brain drain? The questions were asked, but they tap danced around the questions, and then they went back to having their rich people argument about their Finzac housing, their birth certificate, their Jamaican status, and who is certified and who the heck is not certified. They did not go at each other about the people's pain. The people's pain remained that, the people's pain, because it don't affect them, and them say who feels it knows it. Grand Rising, Fresh Reader. Definitely Luna can't speak. But let me tell you something. I am not here to sell any color. I am here to defend the survival of our Jamaican people. If it doesn't move bed, bills, beach, and basic safety and bread, it's straight optics. Welcome, 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 Fresh.
Wagwan, fire.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my check. Go and check out her page. Fifth Element. She burned the fire, you know. She are one of the many Jamaicans where them not really in the government. Neither of them. So it's just a different prayer view. There's some things me agree with her upon and there's other things I don't. I think that the People's National Party has represented for the people's struggle and the people's challenges that they have in this time. And in terms of what she was talking about in what they were doing 90 days, well, the first in the family in terms of education, that will be immediate. There's other things, plans and policies that will be immediate, that would affect people's lives in terms of no tax on tips, and of course no tax on overtime and stuff like that. So in terms of both parties, if you are supposed to sift through the plans and policies, it is quite clear that the People's National Party is putting the policies in place as they go into power that will actually shift the burden, from the high cost of living from the people. That is why their manifesto is a love letter. You understand? Because they have consulted with the people, and the stuff that they have gotten from the people, the ideas that they would want for themselves to make their lives better, that is what they have implemented. So there's some things I agree with her on, and there's other things. I understand the frustration. And when it comes on to the topic of who own what and stuff like that, we have to be fair. The JLP is the one that led with that. They have constantly attacked Mark Golden about Finsack. They have constantly attacked him about his heritage and where him come from and where him born. They've made it an issue in these debates purposefully, because if they were to go into the substantive issues that really affect the people of Jamaica, then they would have lost the debate even worse than they have now. They have lost all three debates, but they would have lost them worse if they were really to talk about what the core of Jamaican people are feeling under their leadership. You understand? People having real problems with food security. I mean, the People's National Party brought that up, the study that shows that 55% are thereabout of the people in Jamaica cannot find a nutritious, cannot feed themselves. You understand properly? They are malnourished. It's the People's National Party that has highlighted these things. You understand that they have created policies surrounding to solve those problems. But at the end of the day, we have seen what Andrew Holness government has done, and the Jamaican people that are suffering right now, as the lovely lady is stating, if you want to continue to suffer, well, go ahead and vote in the Jamaica Labour Party. But if you want to have tangible change, where your quality of life is concerned, my advice is for you to either vote for an independent or vote for the People's National Party. Vote for an independent candidate, vote for the UIC, or vote for the People's National Party. Those are your options if you want a tangible change. All right? You can argue between those three options, but those are the options. JLP is just not the option. And I think you can all agree on that. Anyway, I'm your brother Bolofi, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this discussion from her. Alright, like I said, go ahead and check her out on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? She's dope, man. I appreciate her. Y'all have a wonderful day. See you on the next upload.